Hello and welcome. And so this is that's part of the prep, and then I probably should have started with this video too, or this box, excuse me. That's called Bounty Hacker. This is probably one of my favorite boxes to start teaching about with PrivEsc and what is kind of expected on the OSCP in general, or even the PMBT or any other hacking certifications you're going after. So the first part of it is I wish it was added to this list. And this list is one of the better lists to learn from too, especially if you fail first time, which is more than fine. It happens. At the same time, though, this list goes over about a bunch of boxes to use from. You have hack the box, try hack me, and then proving grounds. What I would suggest doing, and I did this a little bit, is to start with a little bit of a hack the box and try hack me. The try hack me boxes here, these are going to be more, except a few of these are going to be more about when you're first starting out versus with hacked box is this will get you in the motive of try harder when it comes to these boxes with their motto. And then if when you're getting closer, I say about 4 to 6 weeks left, I would probably do proving grounds at that point. Sorry about that. Yeah, I would do proving grounds here. So, but yeah, let's get back to Bounty Hacker, and I already got ready to go. So I like this box for a lot of reasons too, because you get to understand what is basically being asked to do with methodology, and it's really not that bad. I've already got the IP exported, so if I cat target, yeah, I already got the IP address ready to go. So I'll have to do this manually. I like using the VMs from the provider, so it's the box versus sometimes the VPN can go crash during demonstrations. But with Trey Hackney, they don't really have a good process to copy and paste over with my notes, but that's fine. A lot of this could be done for this box can be done manually, typing in. So all right, so we'll start with recon, and I know a lot of these by heart at this point. I usually just stick to this for CTFs anyways. So we only care about the open ports, we care about the service, and then um, ignoring firewall. And then I attack the verbose because I want to see when I want to see the other ports and make notes on it. So let's say if FTP was open, I can um, banner grab it while this scan was going. Because sometimes it could be multiple IP addresses that come back, especially if that's open. So we're asking anything that's open. So speaking of, we have FTP, SSH, and then HTTP open. So for anything, what I'm going to do is banner grab this guy. So it's going to be a Linux box. Now, can I get in with anonymous access? And looks like I do. So there's two of those. We'll just get that. Bring them over. Let's see what's inside them. Looks like we have a password list and we have a user. So we have a user Lynn and then we have a password list all before the nnet scan was even done. So, and this told us be anonymous was allowed. We have SSH and we have HTTP that's open. So we can also test for HTTP, but more likely what I'm probably going to do next is a SSH brute force if there's nothing on this web server. But if there was, this probably would associate that, and there's not. So as I can go here, there's nothing else towards this website. Even I'll go on it, then it most likely would be just a one pager if I try to uh, find the directory path. So in this case, I'm not going to worry about it. Now I'm going to go. Now, but if there wasn't, if I can't brute force this, then I would try the website next. But I'm more than likely, I'm going to go in order of importance because I found a lot more stuff on the FTP server. So now little locks. And it looks like we have a password. Cool. So now we can go our passwords here. All right, so that's not a part of any other groups or so in this case. So manual enumeration here for PrivEsc, do what suited permissions I have. And I have the tar. So I'm gonna go to GTFO bins. See what I can do with that. Okay, this might take a second. Oh, whatever. Oh man, this might take so long. Man, so annoying. Because that car's like right there. Ah man. All right, cool. So that took way longer than what it needed to be. All right, there's the tar. So we're gonna copy this command here. And so yeah, this might be pretty quick anyways. In this case, I didn't have to test for HTTP because going down the list that I can do, I'm looking for it. I'm not seeing anything else besides being Ubuntu or an HTTP service with Ubuntu. So in this case, I'm going to disregard it until I need it because it could be just a regular default page for all I know. And we can test that anyhow. So now that we're done with this anyhow. Anyway, we'll grab this guy. Yeah, this is just a meme. And so even if we go to more tools, page source, yeah, there's nothing really else on it. Anyways, this is just the default regular, nothing special HTTP, but a lot of people would fall for that when they first, because we want to go with the low-hanging fruit first, which is FTP versus going on HTTP. You want to go in a thought process of starting with different protocols for just going to web, because sometimes um, your path of least resistance it is going to be FTP for sure, because you can do a file upload on it. You can grab any information on there. Everyone saves it, and port 21 is not encrypted anyway, so that's why I call it a low-hanging fruit for sure. But yeah, that would be the next step is since we got it on there, it's just we got a password list and a user, so you might as well just go ahead and brute force and see what's on this guy anyways, and then it's all she wrote. Small just small adjustments on finding PrivEsc and just running that one command. And a lot of people would also go straight to using linps once they get on the PC. When reality is you can just run your commands manual. And I think that's where it comes to thought process. So go from first to go from like first to last resistance here. So and then have that in the back of your head. So what I like to do with my notes then here is I'll have it open anyway. So I'll start with numeration and then that'll tell me I try these ports and then these ports here I'd go through and then I can make shells, whatever, small techniques and just work your way up. Because if anything, these are going to be used, it's going to go straight to web enumeration, and then that's when you can fuzz for it for the directory, and then think about basic commands, and then or CMS detections. Either way, start thinking of it this way, and then once you get on it, then we go straight to PrivEsc, and then you'll have two OSs that we're going to work with, and that's when you start thinking managed versus automated. Sometimes people think during the test that like doing the automated scan will be perfect first, but the reality is the answer is no. So be careful. That could bite you bad because you might get a false positive on that scan. So it sometimes the quicker way is just manually going in and asking it the 5 questions with Linux. Do I have permission to read write with sudo? Or what sudo command privileges do I have? Then what suids can I abuse? And then I go for cron jobs, and then it would be kernel. Then I can't find any of those things. Then I run linps to see what's going to be because it's also going to be very noisy when it's done. But this is just for pen testing, not for red team. But think of it that way. The same thing with Windows. Like when I get in, what privileges do I have? Who am I? And what groups am I a part of on Active Directory and or locally too? So just think about the small things here first, and then because they can mount up to being large, and then you can probably get the box cracked a lot quicker than you think you do. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it. Anyway, so like I said, I like this box because you go from point A to point B, and versus going down rabbit holes. So um, that's why I like using what web next during the list, and so I can eliminate the process of like, okay, so there's nothing on the web server, I'm not going to bother with it. So yeah. So the small things, you get your small wins. But yeah, that's this box. Uh, yeah. Thank you guys.